Your journey in Bollywood has been quite successful. A magic moment that you could remember.
Whatever your dream is, this is what I would like to say to kids though. Whatever your dream is, it may seem unrealistic, right? But still, like, keep it there. Keep it there and go with what is coming your way. Use the opportunities that are coming your way, but never let that dream go, because it will somehow find you.
It will manifest.
If you don't let it go,
I know, absolutely.
it'll somehow find you.
You know what? Very interestingly, you did take up your master's in mass communications course. You completed your degree. You did all of that, right? So education was a must. That was never an option for you to skip it. So a question on that from Aradhana Galgotia, who's the director of operations at Galgotia's University, who asks you particularly on how important is education, qualification in your career and industry, and what are the top 3 advice that you would give to young aspiring students who want to be part of the Indian film industry?
I would never demote education. That it is the thing about education. I feel like the reason why it's so important, honestly, is because as youngsters, we may know what we want.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're clear about that, but education broadens your horizon.
True.
Okay. It also teaches you, again, I'm going back into this, but it also teaches you the value of discipline. It also teaches you people. It also all of a sudden hones other skills of yours which you might not have known existed. It's working. It's like continuously working your brain, which is important. So I would never ever demote like education. That to me is something I feel, go through it when you're young. You have the time, do it. Okay, it's just an added advantage.
True.
I wish, as someone who came into the film industry, and because that was something that I had wanted to do, I wish I was able to give more time into the acting courses, because in whatever field that you go into, I think it's important that you keep learning. And I realized that much later in my career. You know, that's when I started like going into courses. And even though I worked with, you know, coaches who would coach me on my diction and coach me on, you know, certain scenes and stuff like that. If I schooled in it, I feel that I would have learned so much more, and I would have been able to like give so much more in my, you know, in my performances and in my work. People who want to come into the industry, you've got to train and you've got to be, you know, you've got to work on your skill set. Now, and that is also the reason why I'm, you know, emphasizing the need to learn. To actually learn the skill, to actually learn what you can do with the skill, and how maybe you could even add more things to the skill. If it's dancing as well that you want to be learning, if it's like mimicry, if it's, you know, if it's I mean, like just different types of skills that you can actually add to acting that can actually make you different and stand out. Editing, and I'm not even talking just as an, I'm saying learn how to make a film. Learn how to edit it.
True.
Learn how to, you know, go so deep.
Bollywood is such an industry where you're the master of all. And that's what we should take as a plus, because you know singing, you know dancing, you know acting, apart from many other skills. Many of our actors even do their stunts by themselves. Which is awesome. I think this is one of the best industries. But any window or a magic formula for an amateur to get into the film industry? I mean, there's so much talk about nepotism and outsider, whatnot. Jacqueline, you're an outsider yourself, and look at the warm welcome, a red carpet entry that you received within Bollywood. Would you like to touch upon that? You also said something very interesting, that cinema is the most beautiful fraud in the world. Elaborate on that.
So, you know, I realized something about the film industry. It's, and I've been here for 10 years. I've come from absolutely nowhere. And I was able to kind of understand it. I still don't understand it. What I did understand, it is the most beautiful fraud in the world. And that's not my quote, by the way. That was a quote by Godard. He's one of the most fantastic French filmmakers ever from the 60s. And, but, you know, it really stuck with me, because it's not real. Actually, what we do, it's not real. It's always made up. It's always a show. You know, as actors, it's always a show, no matter what you're doing. And that's part of what we do, even as a profession. Okay, and it's a skill to be able to do that. It is a skill. So for me, one thing I've really learned, you know, be the best talent that you can be the most, you know, hardworking person that you can be.
And opportunities will come your way, right?
But at the same time, this industry requires you to also be a people's person. It is very, very important to be a people's person in this industry because, you know, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know actually what it is. You know, it is about how you communicate and how well you get along with people, because the film industry, also making a film, isn't about one person. There's hundreds of people involved. Okay, and when you're on a film set, you come to see that there's like 200 people here. There's a director, there's a DOP, there's a this, there's a. It's teamwork.
Right.
You need to be able to work with all of these people.
You may be the most fabulous actor with the best of skills, but if you don't have the right attitude, that's where you could miss.
You can lose out.
Yeah, you can
lose out big time. You can lose out big time. So my only thing is learn that as a skill. You know, if you need to, if you need to learn communications as a skill, trust me, it will. And I don't know if it's just the film industry. Maybe it's other